All right, so we are on to part 3, and I gotta move that. There we go. All right, now I'm gonna go through all of them, all the ones that I have. I'm gonna give you my opinion on parts of it, but most of it is just, it's what the article actually writes. Except it establishes a pattern of behavior that's at least 22, 23 years long. Of, in my personal opinion, Musk hijacking his entire career, or the inspirations, coming in for coups, capitalizing off of, the inspiration that somebody else came up with. And then at every single turn, when it comes to a whistleblower, whether they're coming out with a safety concern or just basically against his company, he will create the aesthetic, turn the person whistleblowing into the actual bad guy. He will do anything and everything, whether it is screwing with your phone, whether it is smearing your name, whether it is actually trying to get you harmed. And do whatever he can in order to save his own ass. Because every single one of these articles points to exactly that. And I actually have a fairly small list. I mean, you could go much, much farther, much more into depth than what I have. And I'll just name them. I'll just read them off, and you come up with your own opinion, but I already have mine. I have seen it up close and personal. I've seen it up close and personal. So we're going to go to tntribune.com. August 27, 2022, Riz Nuoso said that he was inspired by Tesla products and created the Cyber Backpack. A fan of Tesla, Nuoso presented his newly developed product to Musk and Cybertruck designer Franz von Holzhausen. However, as he waited for response for a meeting with the billionaire, Nuoso said that Tesla tried to trademark his Cyber Backpack. Interesting. That's it. It's just one of many. Just one of many. We're gonna go to, where is it? Mumu.com. October 21st, 2024. It doesn't really give me who wrote it. Elon Musk and Tesla are sued for allegedly stealing the creative ideas of Blade Runner. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. The lawsuit also stated that problematic Musk was an issue in this case and that Elon did not want its Blade Runner sequel film to have anything to do with Musk, Tesla, or any of Musk's companies. Elon isn't the only company that opposes Tesla's reference to Hollywood elements. Earlier this month, Alex Proyas, a director of Robotic Enemy, posted a comparison between his film and Tesla's robot taxi press conference on social media and said, "Hey, Elon, can I get my design back?" And where is it? According to the lawsuit filed by Elcon Entertainment, the producer of Blade Runner 2049, Tesla and Warner Brothers Discovery only temporarily applied to Elcon to use the video a few hours before the Cybercab press conference was held. The Cybercab is Tesla's special robot taxi concept car. The company said it hopes to manufacture by 2027. Elcon's civil lawsuit in Los Angeles federal court stated that Elcon denied all permits and strongly objected to defendant's suggestion that Blade Runner 2049 had any connection with Tesla, Musk, or any company owned by Musk. Now we're going to go to Fast Company, and again, I'm going to post all these links because I'm kind of going through them, but I'm not going to try and read them from like top to bottom, which means you could be missing information. So if you want to see more than that, you're more than welcome to go look it up. So this is Fast Company. No, I don't want it. What is this? What is this? No, I don't want to create your fear. Dismiss. Dismiss. Oh. It cut me off. It cut me off. I can't use it. It's one of those things where it like wants you to... It wants you to like sign up for like little news email letter thingies. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Do you realize how much mail I have in my email that I don't ever read? It's like 60,000 at this point. And I don't even know. I don't even know. I like signed up for all that crap. NBCnews.com. Musks Solar City sued for intellectual property theft. Pattern of behavior. Solar City has been accused of intellectual property theft by Congenera Solar. Solar City, that last week it discovered that a former Solar City employee had unlawfully downloaded confidential information, copied that information to a personal hard drive, and then joined SunPower as a senior sales manager. Any authorized copying and use of this information is a very serious violation of Solar City's intellectual property rights, so we immediately notified SunPower. Congenera's complaint fails to identify any actual trade secret that Congenera owns, much less that Solar City supposedly misappropriated. Again, another pattern of behavior. And from what I've noticed, they also have a tendency to, like, let's say something happens within the company just automatically kind of assumes that everything is somehow considered theirs. I don't know how that all works, because there's like all these little like factors that kind of go along with that. I don't know anything about that. I'll probably end up looking it up at some point, but I'm also not going to go through that in this video. But it's just weird that this is just a continuous behavior of these people, of them basically claiming intellectual property theft or theft of some kind, or they stole something and then they tried to get it back. That's not really what that sounds like. That sounds like the person was trying to say something or was trying to get out of something, and then it's almost like a force thing. That's what that looks like to me. This is CBSNews.com, May 20th, 2022. This goes back to the whole Silicon Valley thing. Again, a rumor is just a rumor, except the patterns of behavior is just long. Come up with your own opinion, but you can't fight that. You can't fight a pattern. Elon Musk calls sexual misconduct allegations utterly untrue and wild. Updated on May 20th, 2022. Musk rejected allegations Thursday that he groped and exposed himself to a flight attendant 6 years ago. These wild accusations are utterly untrue. Business Insider says that the woman was a cabin crew member on a contract basis for SpaceX corporate jet fleet. The report said that Musk, who was receiving a massage from the woman during a flight on a private jet to London, exposed himself to her, touched her leg without consent, and asked her to perform a sexual act. He said there's a lot more to the story. He said it was a politically motivated hit piece. These attacks against me should be viewed through a political lens. This is their standard despicable playbook. I'm not even sure what he's referring to here. This, to me, sounds like an excuse. Now we're going to go to his actual employees. Elon Musk and SpaceX sued by former employees alleging sexual harassment and retaliation. NBC News, and this was June 12th, 2024. So some of this stuff started to come out when I originally was introduced to him. And again, it was a check. Like, I was checking myself. Like, what? Because 2022, I didn't know him. And then by early 23 is when I started running across some of this information. And before that, I didn't really like the guy, and I was just like trying to be like, okay, how do I put this without sounding like horribly mean? I thought he was a little bit mentally, not with it. I mean, it was bad because I was already like I was trying to get healthy. And then I was dealing with this person, and the oddity of this person, I was kind of like, and there, it didn't, he doesn't act normal like a normal human. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Half the time, and I thought there was like something not there mentally speaking, and I was like, what the fuck do I do? How do I get myself out of this? What do I do? I don't know what to do. That was pretty well. That was like kind of what was going on in my head. But the 8 employees were all fired in 2022 after they circulated an open letter within SpaceX alleging that Musk's behavior in the public sphere is a frequent source of distraction and embarrassment. 8 former SpaceX employees were suing them. Musk personally ordered their firing after they accused SpaceX of tolerating sexual harassment in the workplace. The lawsuit alleges that Musk runs his company in the dark ages, treating women as sexual objects to be evaluated on their bra size, bombarding the workplace with lewd sexual banter, and offering a reprise to those who challenge the animal house environment that if they don't like it, they can seek employment elsewhere. Look, a workplace should be a workplace. It shouldn't be all that difficult or too big of an ask to just have people comfortable in their workplace. If you want that type of flirty behavior, do it outside of work. Just go outside. Go just on your time, on your downtime. I don't care. I don't give a shit what you do. Just when you're at work, keep it on the calmer side. Okay? That's not a hard ask. If you're firing these chicks for that doesn't look good in my opinion. I would go into the Wikipedia one, but that has just so much stuff in there. There's like 47, it's like 77 different like citations and all sorts of stuff, and I'm not doing that. So this one, Tesla ex-employee files SEC whistleblower complaints. This one's about Martin Tripp. And Martin Tripp, aside from an SEC investigation into Musk tweets about going private, 2 former employees recently filed whistleblower complaints with the Securities and Exchange Commission against the electric car company over potential securities violations, an attorney representing the 2 workers told Fox Business on Monday. And this was under Fox Business. A former Tesla employee, Martin Tripp, alleged he was fired last month for publicly raising concerns over the conditions at one of the company's gigafactories. Anytime that there is a safety concern, that seems to be one of the fastest ways to get your butt fired around this individual. If it's a safety concern, if it slows them down, you know how like you deal with some people and you see something that is just like, look, that doesn't look okay. Like we need to make sure we take care of that before like we send that out, because otherwise there's probably gonna be problems later, and that's just gonna cause like this whole cascade thing later, and we don't want people to get hurt. Normal people would be like, yeah, we should probably fix that, right? In almost every single case that I've seen, every single person, it's always something to do with a safety concern when they get kicked out the door. What does that tell you? So, Tripp got fired, and this is why I keep pointing out to that Musk will do anything and everything to create the aesthetic, to create the narrative, to create the illusion that every single person is they're out to get him. He's creating these illusions and then claiming victimhood every single time. And he has people on his payroll. Those are witnesses that he can use in order to save his own ass. So he's doing all of these things to individuals and then protecting himself through multiple proxies because there's plausible deniability there. That's what that looks like. Martin Tripp, I don't think, is guilty. And in this article, it says, after they filed a lawsuit against him, and they called the sheriff in what I believe to be a false report of a schmererist incident, saying that he was on his way to schmoot up the Gigafactory, which was, in my view, based on the police reports, which we've gotten, is completely false, and we are looking to have that investigated and pursued. And earlier this month, another former Tesla employee, Carl Hansen, alleged that the company failed to disclose thefts of copper, and I'm going to go into another article on this one, of raw materials worth more than $37 million from the company's factory. Mr. Hansen was working for Security Insight Investigations for Tesla, so he knows a lot of things about Tesla, and he brought up several issues. Hansen was told to stop investigating the matter and to not report it to law enforcement. Gee, I wonder why. In addition to theft, Hansen also alleges that Tesla failed to disclose to local law enforcement and the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration that the factory was involved in the potential sale of large quantities of narcotics, cocaine, and possible meth. Tesla was given, or allegedly given, a tip by the DA task force and of major sales going on by a particular worker at the factory and specific detailed information about those sales, and that they are working with the Mexican drug cartel and specific details about that cartel. In an email to Fox Business, a Tesla spokesperson said that the company attempted to address the claims of Hansen but were rejected. Some of Hansen's claims are outright false. Others could not be corroborated, so we suggested additional investigated steps to try and validate the information. My computer screen keeps changing. He received secondhand information from a single anonymous source because we wanted to be sure that we got this right. We made numerous attempts to engage further with Mr. Hansen to understand more about what he was claiming and the work that he did in reaching these conclusions. He rejected each of those attempts and to date has refused to speak with the company further. It seems strange that Mr. Hansen would claim that he is concerned about something happening within the company, but then refuse to engage the company to discuss the information that he believes he has. If you are doing something behind the scenes in order to terrorize the person, there's probably a really good reason they're not talking to you. Probably. And in my opinion. So we're going to go to, there's a couple of them that are just absolute, it's terrible. All right, so this one is courthousenews.com, and we're going to get into three of the worst claims. Former employee files suit against Tesla after whistleblower complaint. This was July 19, 2019. Following a whistleblower complaint filed last year, a former Tesla employee filed a federal lawsuit in Nevada Friday against the company and CEO, claiming he was wrongfully let go from his job after filing the complaint. Carl Hansen alleges that he was wrongfully fired from his job as an investigator in Tesla's Gigafactory after filing a whistleblower complaint with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission last year. Hansen said company officials spied on employees, had the theft of $37 million in raw materials, and failed to disclose drug trafficking that occurred at the factory. In a statement made in August of last year, a Tesla spokesperson said that it investigated Hansen's allegations. Why in the hell would a company be investigating something like that? You either get the cops, which, if they're not corrupt anyway, or you get an outside investigative source and then you bring them in, so that way you actually have somebody with a little bit better of a reputation that isn't you. Some of his claims are outright false. You could basically buy somebody off within the company and just pay them to lie. That's what that is, in my opinion. Others could not be corroborated. Under SEC rules, a whistleblower could receive up to 30% of the fines the commission collects if judgment is made against a company. So basically, this person probably ended up getting fined for this behavior, for just basically noticing. Hansen alleges the company, under Musk's direction, if this is indeed correct, installed equipment at the Gigafactory near Reno, Nevada that allowed surveillance of employees' personal cell phones. My phone has acted weird for like 2 years, and I have a new phone. As in, like, my camera would act funny. As in, it was almost like somebody was accessing it remotely. Now ask about one of the South American presidents. Hansen added new allegations on. Additionally, Hansen claimed that the electric car maker failed to reveal that it had received a warning from the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration about an employee connected to a Mexican cartel allegedly selling cocaine at the site. Hansen added new allegations in Friday's lawsuit, claiming that senior Tesla managers awarded improper contracts that cost the company more money than they should. I wonder why. For example, one contract in particular cost Tesla approximately $900,000 for a job that would normally cost $65 to $75K to complete. After reporting his findings to management, the complaint claims Hansen was fired for his investigations, while company officials said that his position was being eliminated as part of a restructuring plan. Due to the reporting of the criminal activities taking place at Tesla and because of their significance to shareholders, Hansen was informed on June 19, 2018 that he was being terminated. Hansen then began to work as an investigator at the site through third-party contractor U.S. Security Associates. When he claims company officials, including Musks, demanded that the contractor remove him from the job. Musks noticed that Hansen was on duty, the lawsuit states. Musks became infuriated and within 10 minutes had USSA remove Hansen from his post. Hansen was told by USSA security supervisors that they had been commanded to do something with Hansen, and that Musks stated, "I don't give a fuck if you take him up into the hills and hide him from Musks." Hansen is suing for intentional interference with contractual relations, breach of employment contract, and whistleblower retaliation. Every time it's a whistleblower. Every single time. So that's one of the really not good ones. Now we're gonna go. I'm not gonna do that one. I don't think this is the right one either. I ended up mixing some stuff up super quickly. No, that's not it. If I can't find it, I'll go search it. Why though? This is whistleblowers.org. National Whistleblower Center condemns Elon Musk's anti-whistleblower rhetoric. Earlier this week, and this was Washington, D.C., December 3rd, 2021. Earlier this week, Musk encouraged his 65+ million Twitter followers to blow the whistle on Tesla. This sort of public shaming and mockery has a chilling effect. Whistleblowers stepping forward know they will be facing a hostile environment from the top down. And in my opinion, that is the exact reason that behavior is performed. When he wants a specific narrative, he uses his own followers, almost like a little army. So if he wants something to go down, he just calls on his followers and then he posts something and he just expects a reaction. He's not a dummy. He knows that. Retaliation is a hurdle most whistleblowers face at the hands of their employees after reporting fraud and corruption, and Musk tweet is an example of how public shaming is a pervasive means of retaliation. NWC works tirelessly to educate whistleblowers on knowing their rights and how to stop retaliation. This large-scale mockery is an affront to the brave whistleblowers, putting themselves at risk every day to expose wrongdoing. What we're going to do now I'm going to bring up two more. Again, there's patterns of behavior don't lie. People lie. Patterns don't lie. 23 years worth of patterns does not lie. Christina Bellan, a former Tesla engineer, has won a legal victory allowing her to proceed with a defamation lawsuit against Tesla and Elon Musk, reopening the door for her to challenge the company in court. Christina Bellan, she also has cancer, worked at Tesla between 2010 and 2014 as a lead engineer on the Model S interiors design team. In 2014, she raised concerns about potential safety issues, specifically carpets curling under pedals, which she believed could create a serious braking hazard. After her warnings were reportedly dismissed, Bellan faced retaliation from management, including bullying, demotion, and ultimately the loss of her job. In 2019, Elon filed a defamation lawsuit against Tesla after the company accused her of misusing resources on a secret project. That sounds a lot like they came up with some kind of lie. After all of this stuff that you hear, or that you've been hearing, that's what that sounds like to me. Which she denied and was asserted was defamatory. Her defamation claim was initially dismissed due to an arbitrator's ruling favoring Tesla and jurisdictional issues under California law. Tesla then sought confirmation of the arbitration award in a district court. Now we're going to go to one of the worst ones. This is under Copilot. Daniel Baroulis, IT staffer at the National Labor Relations Board, filed a whistleblower complaint in April 2025 alleging that employees of Elon Musk's former Department of Government Efficiency had unauthorized access to sensitive agency data, and the suspicious logins had occurred from a Russian IP address. Following his complaint, he faced a series of alarming incidents, threats and harassment. Before the main incident, someone had left a threatening note with photos of him walking his dog taped to his front door. The photos may have been taken by a drone. Public accusations. Elon Musk shared a post on X, formerly Twitter, labeling Baroulis' complaint as deliberately false and a serious crime. I don't want to hear the hypocrisy from you anymore. I don't want to hear the hypocrisy when you sit there and tell everybody else that they're such horrible people and that you don't ever turn around and look in the mirror at some of your own behavior. You were quite literally using other people. You were using shame. And I was not supposed to make that sound, but you're quite literally using shame to make people walk away. You're trying to shame them from even just having a halfway decent conversation. I don't understand what this type of behavior is. I don't understand people who do stuff like this. You sit there and then tell everybody else that they're like performing these crimes, and then you use your own Twitter account to shove that stuff down other people's throats, and then if you turn around and look at your past, it's just crime after crime after crime. So I don't even want to hear it. But he said it was deliberately false and a serious crime, reaching over 200 million followers, some of whom responded with threats, including calls for his prosecution or physical harm. Musk knows this. He knows this. And then this is the worst part. And I want you to think of back in December of 2025, my December 2025, and then January of this year, when my side mirror was broke off the side of my car. Brake tampering and crash. On April 20th, 2025, while driving, Baroulis found that his brakes had failed, causing him to crash into a stop sign. Subsequent investigation by a mechanic revealed his brake lines had been deliberately cut, the driver's side airbag sensor was removed, and its wires spliced to avoid triggering a warning. Fingerprints were found on the vehicle. Due to the perceived ongoing threat, Baroulis left his residence and lived in hotels, taking precautions for his personal safety. The police case regarding the brake tampering is reported as inactive. Baroulis filed a defamation lawsuit against Elon Musk in April 2026, claiming Musk's social media posts put him at risk of violence by falsely accusing him of lying about Doge. The suit seeks damages, a permanent injunction to remove the post, and requests that any punitive damages be donated to whistleblower support charities. That is why I'm doing this. Does it save my own ass? Yeah. But at the same time, I've seen this happen year after year after year after year. And while I did not offer these people support right off the bat, I did notice the pattern. And I sat on it. Because in December of 2022, he was trying some stuff on me. And I was sitting there and I was waiting. Well, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I'll give him a second chance. I'll give second chances. He'll act like an adult at some point in time, right? Wrong. Disappointment after disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. I saw most of the people that he decided were not very good people. I saw the way he acted towards people. There's a really good reason you do not respond normally in that environment. A very, very good reason. I can no longer, because of all of this, I can no longer be around that individual. I can't. Like, I was getting to the point, the first, year and a half or whatever that I was on that site, I was dealing with my own shit. I didn't care. And then I was just getting increasingly upset having to deal with all that bullshit while also trying to get better myself. So for the most part, I wasn't really paying all that much attention to it. And then I did start paying attention to it. And right before I left, it just the last year, it just got worse and worse and worse. And I can't put up with him. I can't be around him. There is something so fucking wrong with his personality. I can't be within its vicinity. That is how much reactive abuse occurred on that site. I can't be around those people no more. So when I say I absolutely detest that person, I absolutely detest that person. That doesn't mean I'm going to go do something fucking dumb. It just means somebody needs to say something about his behavior. And if it has to be me, it'll be me. Because I saw it all. Not only did it happen on me, but I saw it all. Just like Jack Sweeney. Back in 2023, when Musk decided to go after him too. Do you realize how many thousands of fucking employees this dude has gone after? Thousands. Do you realize how many lawsuits this dude has? A lot. And what's even more hypocritical, what was it? It was the news this morning. What the hell was it? And I thought it was really, really funny. So, the DOJ got behind Elon Musk lawsuit for making people naked or something like that for the Minnesota nudification thing. I'm going to have to find that and I'm going to have to post that. But it's just, there's just so much hypocrisy. It just doesn't even make any sense. I'm going to find it and I'm going to post it. And then after I'm done uploading this video, I think I'm going to just relax, I think, for the rest of the night, because this has been most of the day. This has been a long time coming, so it needed to be done. But I think I'm just going to relax, and then I'm also just going to, I'm going to post all the links, let you go through it if you want to see it. I'm sure you can just basically use Google and look it up and just connect the dots. Connect the dots. And again, always use your own judgment, your own discernment. And take everything with a grain of salt, but there you go. I hope you all have a good day, and we'll see you next time.